past the creaky metal gates, through the fog-enveloped graveyard, you find yourself on the rickety old porch of a long-forgotten home. Beyond the threshold sits a man, obsessed, a tortured soul, cursed to discover all about the Southern California haunt community and beyond. You have now entered the domain of the Creepcast with Rick Creeper.
All right, here we go. We're back at it. Episode 11 of the Creepcast, hosted by Rick Creeper 11. For some reason, I always have to say that. I don't know why, but I'm very excited to have the guest for this show. I have been speaking to this person, well, indirectly through Instagram for the last, over a year now. And she's been very inspirational and very motivating as far as my scare acting career. And just generally a nice person. Her name is Poison Glo. That's her Instagram handle. She's also known as the Ghost Town Bride at Knott's Scary Farm, and she's been there for quite some time now. So, how we doing, miss?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Not too bad. I hate to admit it, I'm really nervous about this episode. I don't know why. It just, I look at you at a certain caliber as far as a scare actor, and you've been in the industry for so long, and I'm just like new school. I've only been doing this for 2 years, so it's like, it's very, very nerve-wracking. At the same time, it's like very, just honored to have you on as well. So thank you for coming on and taking. I know you've been very busy. You're not only a scare actress, but you're also a scenic artist for Knott's Scary Farm, correct?
Correct.
And you just went on
doing that for quite a while.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. You work harder than I do. Also, you just went on a recent journey with creating your own art, correct?
That's right. It's something that I've been, kind of holding in the back of my head, wanting to share some of my art. I've always been very reluctant to do that, just because I think I am probably my biggest critic, not just in my art, but just all around. So it was really hard to do that, but I'm glad I'm doing it now because it's actually really rewarding. I'm
gonna butcher the name. How do you pronounce it? Of your art?
It's an aura of foreboding. So basically, that's like from the Haunted Mansion. And then I said curio, which pretty much means, like collectible items that are bizarre, or strange, or interesting. So I figured that kind of worked.
I'm a big dumb animal. I had a hard time reading it on Instagram. Sorry. So
it's all good.
So you've been a scare actor for quite some time now. How long have you been doing that for?
Altogether, I have worked 18 seasons of Scary Farm.
Oh my.
Yeah. Took a couple years out, popped out a couple kids, and came back.
That's talk about dedication.
No big deal, right?
No.
Real quick.
That is just crazy how long you've been doing it. So how did you get started there exactly?
Well, to be honest, I've always loved anything scary, horror. My mom and my family weren't really big into scary stuff, to be honest. My aunt and my cousins loved horror movies, and I used to sneak over there to go watch all my scary movies and stuff like that. So it's something I've always loved. But let's go ahead and fast forward into maybe around the time I was about 18.
Okay.
One of my friends wanted to go to Knott's to get a job. And she kind of convinced me to go with her. I was not planning on working there, nothing of the sort. I was going to college. I was going to college for graphic design at that time. And she was like, just go with me. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go with you. And so we got there. She's like, why don't you just apply with me? Because I don't want to do this by myself. I was like, oh man, come on. I already showed up with you. Now you want me to apply too? I don't need a job. I don't want to work. But so just, being the good friend that I am, I was like, sure, I'll do it. So I applied with her, and we both got the job, and it was going to be just like a regular Knott's job.
Okay.
At first. And then they were like, oh, but we're also hiring for our Halloween event if you're interested in that. And I was like, I never thought about that. I was like, that sounds kind of cool.
Interesting.
Well, what do you have available? And so they had a few monster spots available, mask stuff. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to do all that, but I was like, what else do you guys have? And they said, they had blackouts, which were kind of like in maze security. They kind of watch out for the monsters, and then they had line control and stuff like that. But when they said, being inside of the maze, I was like, that would be really cool.
That's cool.
I want to do that. I want to be a blackout. Now, not many people will come into this saying, yeah, that's what I want to do, which is something that I always laugh about, because I feel like everybody is so quick to be like, no, I need to be on streets. I need to be sliding. For me, the way I've always looked at it throughout these 18, seasons that I've worked, I feel that you gain so much by being able to just sit back and watch others and soak in everything before you jump out there. I feel that by me being a blackout my very first year, I learned so much. I was surrounded by so many amazing monsters, and
very observant.
There's no way that I think I'd still be here today if it wasn't for that experience.
That's smart, because you took a back seat to kind of absorb everything that's going on around you. So you're probably like me. You're probably an introvert. You're like a sponge, and just like, okay, I'll sit here and do my apprenticeship while everyone else is, fighting for whatever. That is very smart. It's just, I never thought about it that way. It's just, I know some people are like, I don't want to be a blackout. It's like, well, you never know, because maybe that's the opportunity you're given, and from there you're going to grow. Look at you. You've been doing it for 18 years now. So that's insane. So you started as a blackout, huh?
Yeah, a lot. What's really interesting too is a lot of people that I do know that I've known for quite a while. They've all started out also as being a blackout or a line control, and I see no shame in that. And I think that that's actually the best way to start. And if not that, even just working in a maze. I worked in mazes for 8 years. I never was once worried about, hey, I need to be seen. I need to be out in streets. I want more freedom. I just soaked in every moment of what I was doing and took it for what it was and just enjoyed it. I had great groups of friends around me. We were doing what we loved. I never once felt the need to be like, I need more. I want more, And I find it interesting that as the event has evolved and, obviously groups of people have changed, I find it interesting how things have, like, the focus has changed a lot. But overall, I've always been a very strong advocate of work in a maze at least a year, maybe even 2, at least, because I feel that you learn so much in that environment, opposed to just jumping out on streets. And now, don't get me wrong, there's some monsters have gone out the streets that are absolutely phenomenal, but everyone's a little different. And I think that even with that, you still will learn so much from everyone around you. So being in a controlled environment, I feel like it's so different. And you get to just soak everything in, and it's such a neat experience. Interesting.
What's funny is, when this would have been my 3rd year this year, when I auditioned at Sinister Point. It's just, they're like, I got casted as one role, like a demon or something. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they're like, hey, we're gonna change your role. You're gonna be a security guard. And I was a bouncer for 20 years. I'm like, I don't want to work security. They're like, no, you're gonna be like a demon possessed security guard. I'm okay, cool, right on. I thought I was gonna have to be like bouncing people out. I was like, great. Yep. I was like, not really looking forward to that. So what was your very first maze you worked at Scary Farm?
So my very first maze that I was a blackout in was Horrorwood Hotel. That was back in 2000. It was in the Wilderness Dance Hall. And that's probably still up there as one of my top years working at the event.
You say probably one of your best experiences, like your first experience, always like probably the...
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
I met so many people there that, I'm still in contact, many of them. And it's really interesting just to kind of see everybody kind of grow into their own. Everybody kind of went down their own road and did their thing, but yet we're all still so connected,
So when did Glo transfer from blackout to actual scare actor?
The following year, I actually was in the maze called Blood Bayou.
Okay, I remember
and
that.
That was in Mystery Lodge, and I was one of the blue girls.
I remember that maze. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was all backwoods, bayou, super cool. I love that maze. It's probably up there with the classics for sure for me.
So when did you start doing scenic artwork at Knott? So what came first, the scare actress or the scenic artist?
It's definitely scare actor first. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate that term. So I don't know why. It bothers me sometimes when I hear people I'm a scare actor. That's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I feel like it makes sense. It is a title. But for me personally, I could never call myself that.
So what would you classify yourself as?
As a weirdo.
Well, at least you're being honest.
I don't know. A performer, I guess.
How about haunter?
Performer.
Performer, haunter. There we go.
I mean, yeah, I guess I would say a haunter. Yeah, I don't know. It's always been weird to me for some reason. Like, I can see it for other people. Like when they're like, oh, these are scare actors. Like, oh, cool. And then when they're like, are you a scare actor? I'm like, no, I don't know. No, that's not me. Like,
I just want to. I don't
like it.
Well, so when did you become a performer then? That was your very first Mason's Blood Bite.
Actually, that was 2001. I guess would be technically the first year that I performed.
Okay.
The first year I did any scenic art for Knott's was 2011.
Okay.
And at that time I was only doing it just for the event. I wasn't on year round. In 2016, I decided to come back and I worked a couple years, just seasonally. And then in 2016, I came back to do another season of Just Haunt. Because my schedule kind of allowed me to do that. I was working at Disney full time. So in that little gap, I didn't have any time, to do all of that stuff that I used to be able to do.
That's a busy schedule.
Oh yeah, for sure. But in 2016, I was able to pull it off and I decided to, hey, I really miss doing this. I want to come paint some mazes. Let's do it. So I did, and I ended up staying on, and I'm now full-time. I've been there ever since. I also stopped working at Disney, but that's a whole nother story.
So what exactly are the responsibilities of the scenic artists?
Pretty much we're setting the stage, so to speak, for all of our events. So it's like photo ops, and we paint our mazes, and any stage shows or stuff like that you see, obviously we don't build them, but we come and we make them pretty for you. So like set pieces and stuff like that. So like, for instance, obviously for Haunt, we paint all the mazes.
So cool.
We would do any of the stage shows, spooky farm stuff. Basically all the cute little stuff that you see around the park, we usually paint that stuff for you.
It blows my mind that you do that full time. And then during the season, you're doing that and you're working haunts. I'm just like, how do you do both? I had a hard time just with my day job and then, going working weekends, wherever. And I was just like, I not regret it. But I'm like, oh, I'm getting too old for this. And it's just like, to me, that's very honorable. You get to do both. And the fact you're actually in the mazes, like, doing distressing or painting and detailing, that is so cool. It's just like, you're fully engulfed in it, almost like not year round, but practically. I mean, that's insane.
For a good portion of the year, yes.
So you get to be spooky almost year round, pretty much, then.
Pretty close, yeah. This year, obviously. But, it's a bummer too, because we actually had started working on stuff, and then obviously what happened, and here we are. But we do spend a good portion of the year now just working solely on this event. I think that the quality and everything has gone up so much, then it's really neat that we're able to dedicate so much of our time and our skills to making it so much better now. I'm
that guy. I love, they don't scare me a lot unless they're little females about this tall, about 4 foot. I don't know what it is. But lots of times the actors, performers, they leave me alone. They see this meathead walking through. Plus, I'm geeking out in the sets. I'm like, dude, look at that lighting or the detail on these rocks. And that's what I love. I made the mistake, I think last year or the year before, it was the ship part in the depths. And I walked in and there was about 4. I swear to God, they put every female scare actor in there. I walked in and I made a face like, ugh, why is it? And I don't like where they're tiny or they wear dresses, and they seen that look on my face and they looked at each other and like nodding in sequence, and they like lunged at me and they literally chased me out the maze. That's the only time I get scared. But I'm that guy that geeks out.
Shout out to the wenches.
Yeah, that was horrible.
That makes me so happy to hear, by the way, because that's always been my biggest thing, because obviously I'm not a very large individual. I am 5'3", and my thing is I always like to go after bigger guys. For me, it's just satisfying. So hearing that makes me laugh.
We're going to talk about that too, about my experiences trying to approach you and just, no. But I've always loved the details, it's just the build side of it, and like just like the lighting, the decor. And I'm just like, how do they do that? And so I'm focused on that, and I appreciate that so much. That's why I see what you do, and I'm like, dude, that is amazing, because you're getting to create something that someone else is going to enjoy. At the same time, you're getting fulfillment from it. So it's like,
absolutely. I think for me, that's the biggest like reward, is stepping back at the end. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a lot of work. There is blood, sweat, tears. There is everything that goes into that. But at the end of the day, when we look back at what we've created and just seeing how much everyone loves it, it's so rewarding and it just feels so good. And like you, when I go to other events or just anywhere in general, any theme park, I'm such a big theme park nerd. I am looking for every detail. I'm looking at, how did they do that? Oh, how can I do that? How can I recreate this? It's funny. I can't go to Universal or anywhere else and not, just geek out on oh, look at this really cool texture.
I love that. It's just, my grandfather's a carpenter. He was always painting and doing stuff. So I was always a little kid watching him, and he built furniture for us as kids and my parents and all that. So anything but paint, art, or just I do a little hokey display here, or my altar. I got Halloween stuff. I've always liked that in the mazes and the Scary Farm. Just where in the hell are they getting all this stuff? Where are they finding these people? And just last year, the last 3 years blew my mind. Just blew my mind. There was times I was so engulfed, I forgot that I was actually at the park. I thought it was in Calico, in Origins. I'm just pointing. I try not to point things out to people. I'm dude, look at that. I was oh my God. The makeup too. I love makeup. I've become a makeup diva, being a monster myself. I was no, I prefer makeup. Excuse me. It's just, I've always been at the details. It's going back to your art. Are you educated, or just a natural talent that you developed as a kid, or how did you take this journey?
Most of what I do is all self-taught.
Really?
So, I did go to school for graphic design, and, I did do quite a bit of art in school, but I feel like the majority of everything that I do even now is stuff that I've taught myself. It's kind of just been in me, I guess. Ever since I was a kid, I've just always loved to draw. I was an only child for quite a while. My sister was born when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of time by myself. So for me, I remember one of my greatest Christmas gifts I ever got was a giant pack of crayons.
That's cool.
And I remember my mom had bought me a bike or something that same year. And she's well, what was your favorite present? I was the crayons.
The crayons.
She was what? That's just me. I've always just been so I love to draw. I love to color. I love anything that allows me to just be creative.
I love that, because it's a form of expressionism. And then when you have a natural talent, it's just something you're very passionate about. It comes from here. I'm not on camera. The guests can't. The people at home can't. It comes from it comes from the heart. And then now you're over here at Scary Farm. We're doing details, and also Knott's Berry Farm. I'm just man, that's just, that's passion right there. To me, that has more value than anything. It's just being passionate about what you do, and that's what I love. It's don't get me wrong. I love my day job. Okay, I like my day job. I'm not in love with it. But it allows me to live the life I want to live and be a monster on the weekends or whenever. Right. But it's but you're over here doing something that you're great at, naturally talented at, and you love as well.
Thank you.
That's commendable. That's that's pretty cool. So wow. So
thank you.
What are some of your favorite mazes that you worked in throughout the years?
Well, definitely my number one would have to be the Asylum.
Okay,
hands down has always been my favorite maze. It was definitely my favorite one to work in.
I love that concept.
Everything about it has inspired me to do so much, and also I feel aspects of that character that I portrayed have kind of it just shines through in everything I do, I feel.
I was about to say that what you played in Asylum, do you feel like that was kind of the jumping point for who you are now?
I feel honestly all of the characters I've portrayed have kind of been is now a culmination of what I am now. And it's really interesting because I kind of sat back and thought about that one day, because I was thinking about all the different attributes to what I'm doing now. And there's little bits and pieces of all of my favorite characters I've ever portrayed, all kind of rolled into this one.
That's a lot of monster right there. Jesus.
That's a whole lot of monster.
No, correct me if I'm wrong. Were you part of the Deadly Seven?
I was.
Really?
Yes, I was Wrath. Okay,
that was if I remember correctly, very colorful hair, and you had the white out contacts, which I'm not a big. I love them, but that's just creepy looking. That character to me creeped me out. So, if you were to describe,
perfect.
If you were to describe Wrath, how would you describe her?
Angry. She's aggressive, angry, pretty much everything that I have always tried to embody when I'm in character. I've never been the girl character who's like, oh, I want to be cute, I want to be pretty, look at me. Like, I have always been taught, I've hang around with a lot of guys, and they've always told me to be very aggressive so that people don't mess with you. And that's kind of who I've always embodied. Even as a kid, I've always been kind of a tomboy. I've always hung out with the guys. I'm more rough around the edges, so to speak. I might not always look like it, but that's truly who I am. And in a snap, I can just turn from like, I'm this sweet little girl to do not mess with me, because you're not going to like what's going to happen next.
Let me write that down.
So I feel like I was able to really like embody all of that and put it into that character, and it just worked perfectly.
That's great. That's amazing. So how long was it before, what am I trying to say here? How long was it before you were playing various characters when you were approached to take on the role of the bride?
Oof. So I did about 8 years in mazes. The longest maze I ever worked was the Asylum. I was there for 4 seasons. From there, I worked 2 years in Ghost Town. I was the War Widow from 2009, 2010. 2011 through 2013, I worked in Necropolis. I was an aristocrat nurse. And then I took a year off. And then when I came back in 2015, that's when I was in the Deadly Seven. And then the following year, they were preparing to do like a promo shoot for the park. And they wanted to have certain characters be in this promo shoot. And they asked me, hey, like, would you be interested in being in this promo? And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, I don't mind. What am I dressing up as? Because, you know, I was Wrath. I don't think you want that in your promo. I don't think it matches, you know, the flow you're going with here.
Exactly.
Like, oh, well, would you want to be the bride? And I'm like, what? Oh, no. Like, I was like, no way. There's no freaking way. So let me give you a little info here real quick.
Okay.
The bride has always been my absolute favorite character. Since the very beginning, when I started going, you know, in high school, walking around, looking at everything, I always would notice her, and I was like, she is badass. Like,
creepy.
Everything about her character was just amazing to me. I loved it. It was so cool. And so when I'm being asked to now portray this character that I hold in such a high regard, I was like, there's no freaking way I can't do it. There's no way I cannot do this. I felt so weird even thinking about it. And I remember it just kept running through my head, like, no, like, I can't see myself as that. Like, that's weird. Like, I don't know. So I was going to just wear my old costume that I used to wear when I was in Ghost Town before. And I was like, I'll just wear that. That's fine. At least I'm comfortable in it. I already know like what I do, whatever. And they're like, okay, cool. Are you sure you don't want to do the bride though? And I was just like, I don't know. And I kind of started voicing my reasons, and they were kind of looking at me like, yeah, sure. And I was like, no, really, like, I don't know. I feel, I'm like, okay, look, if you guys really want me to do it, like, I'll do it. I'll do it for the promo.
It twisted
like,
your
okay,
arm.
Cool. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Just do it for the shoot. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll do it. So that was the first big promo shoot that Knott shot with all the scare zones. I don't know if you remember that.
What year was this?
It's the one where we're kind of like walking. It's not the one with the coffin. It's the one from the year before that.
I think so.
Where we're all just kind of like walking each scare zone, and we all kind of meet up in one spot.
I think so. I think I remember that.
So that is footage from the very first time I was ever in costume as the bride. So it's kind of funny to think about now, like looking back on it. But yeah, so after that happened, they were kind of like, so we really liked that.
Yeah, no
so
choice.
What do you want to do this year? And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, well, would you be willing to take on this character? And I'm just like, no, like, what, me? No, like, no. You know, I know there's other people who would really love to be this. And for me, it's never been a like, oh, I want to, you know, be this character because, you know, it's going to put me at a certain, you know, standard or like, no, it's never been about that. For me, it's always just been like, what do I feel comfortable in? What do I want to portray? Is it still going to be fun for me? Am I doing what I love with my friends? That's all that matters. Like, I've never been one to be like, oh, I need to be this top character or anything like that. So for me, it felt weird looking at it in the aspect of oh my God, am I really going to try to do this thing that I am holding like up on this giant pedestal? Like, I don't feel like I'm good enough for this.
That's some big shoes to fill. Wow.
And, yeah. And so I remember I talked it over with a few of my friends, and I talked it over with one of my best friends. And he was like, you would be so perfect for this. And I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. And, you know, I had a couple other people kind of trying to talk to me. I had John Cook telling me like, come on, like, just, I think you'd be good at this. And like, all of us were just kind of like, I was going back and forth messaging everybody like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Shit. And then finally I was like, okay, look, you guys just choose whatever character you want me to be. Because they had offered me a few different characters to kind of play with in my head. It was a character that would have been in the new Scare Zone, which was the Hollow. There was a character that was for Carnival. There was a character that would have been what I already was, you know, being Wrath again. They asked me if I wanted to be my old Ghost Town character, which I kind of was more on board with.
Right.
Or there was the Bride. And I was like, so scatterbrained about it. I was just like, I don't know. I can't do this. I can't make this decision. Look, I trust you guys. You put me in whatever role you think will be beneficial to this event. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the costume is. Whatever you think that I'm going to be good at and it's going to help this event or it'll be good, you know, I trust you guys. And just let me know. You let me know what I'm doing.
So you left it up to them.
Okay, cool.
You left it up. Of course they're going to make you the bride. You left it up to them.
Well, but I definitely voiced what my concerns were and like why I didn't feel like I told them genuinely, like, if you feel like there's somebody who would be better fit for this, like, I'm not going to take offense to it. Please, by all means, you know. I think that if somebody's a great fit for a certain character, then they should fill that spot. It's not about who was here first or who, you know, has more clout or whatever the heck you want to say. I feel like in something like this, when you're filling a role, like, these are characters. It's like being in a movie. If somebody is, you know, more fit for a character, they should fill that spot. It's not because I got there first or, you know, whatever. But so I was like, you let me know. That's very
and
so they let me know, and I found out that I was the bride. That's
very honorable the way you looked at it. You're like, hey, whoever fits this role the best, give it to them. It's like, no, I got her first, I deserve it. It's like the fact that you approached it like that. A lot of people, that's very respectful. I mean, that to me, I'm like, wow, this is why I feel like you deserved it and they gave it to you. But they obviously saw something. But the way you approached it, that's very honorable. So that's very respectful, and I appreciate that. So, once you became the bride, what were some of your influences like to develop that character? Like, how did you make it your own thing eventually?
So, like I was saying, I was just so like, after I found out that this was official, this is a thing, I remember in my head, I just started playing out all these scenarios like, oh crap, like I'm going to flop, I'm going to screw this up. I'm one of those people, like I said, I am my biggest critic. Like, I always just think the worst right off the bat of how I was going to be and how everybody was going to look at me like, what have you done? So I remember I just kept thinking like, I need to find a way to honor this character that I love so much, but at the same time, I need to make it my own so that it's not compared. You can't put them both in the same category. You know what I mean? Like, you can't constantly be comparing to the old bride, because I feel like that's a giant problem that happens when somebody takes over a role that, you know, used to belong to somebody else, that they try so hard to be exactly that same character. And so if they don't do it exactly, then they're constantly being judged for it. And for me, I feel like it's something that you need to grab it by the horns and just make it your own. Like, just do what you got to do. So I remember I was like, okay, I'm going to take aspects of this character that I really loved from before, but I'm going to make it more me. I'm going to put my spin on it. She's going to be angrier. She's going to be more aggressive. She's going to just be scary, like super scary. That's what I wanted. That's who I am. That's what I love. And so I was like, that's what it's going to be. I mean, the previous bride, she was already terrifying. She was aggressive. She was loud. And I loved that about her. That's what really caught my eye. So I was like, okay, let's do that, but let's put a spin on it. And then, of course, being that I worked at the Haunted Mansion for so long, which is I'm completely obsessed with, the bride from the Haunted Mansion has always been one of my favorite characters also. So I was like, how can I kind of play an homage to her? And so that's how the candle came along. So for me, it's kind of like putting that out there.
I love your character. I love the concept, the art, everything you do about it. At the same time, it's like a love-hate relationship. I'm super creeped out by the bride. You do this move. You stand there like, and the gloves. I don't know what the gloves. They creep me out. They're like satin gloves. They look like, but they're like dingy.
Yeah.
And you got the candle to your face, and you got this big grin, and like the big dramatic eyebrows and the white out contacts, and you got this smile. I think it was opening night last year, and I took my little cousin who's doing his own home hunt this year, and he's like, "Hey, let's go eat the Ghost Town Grill, and we'll walk around." He loves all the sliders. He knows them all. He's, "Hey, that's so and so and so and so." Okay, cool. So I'm like, "Hey, dude, there's a bride," and you were just standing. You're hanging out by Birdcage Theater, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're just standing there. I'm like, "Go talk to her, dude." And he's like, "You go with me." And you're standing there, and you do this move where you had your hands out, and you started smiling, and you stuck your tongue out. And I was like, "Ugh." I'm like, no, I'm good. And then you do like this move. It's kind of like a skip and like a run, and you dash in the crowd, and you disappeared in the fog. I'm like, well, I'm not approaching her at all. It's like, hell no. I think the bride and Otis, because I can relate to, because he's a big dude like me, are my favorites. But that was last year, and the year before. This is before I was dating the girlfriend. I was on a date, and I saw the bride again. I'm like, nope. I was like, no, thank you. A side story about Otis. I don't know. He pops out of nowhere. He's a big man, and he pops out of everywhere. And both times he's heard me talking about him. And so,
really,
it's what's weird. I'm like, is he psychic? I'm like, and so, I love his. He might be. It's just, I love his look. He's got the big hair and everything. It's just, I remember one year I was like, I don't see Otis. Then I hear, I'm right here, and he's right behind me in the fog. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like he popped up out of nowhere. And then I'm like,
I love it.
And then I think the following year, I'm like, hey, Otis, he's all, nice to see you. And he's like, and he ran off. I'm like, that is creepy as hell, but I love it. But yeah, just your character, I can't, like, obviously I could talk to you now, but like, let's say next year I see you on the streets, I'm like, nope, there's no way in hell I'm going to go up to you. And it's like, I wouldn't be able to take, nah, I'm good. I was like, I'm good with that. It's like, you shared a backstory at, I think it was HauntX. You did a panel 2 years ago at HauntX. And you had a whole story how you developed a backstory to Lilith and how she was poisoned on her wedding night. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The fact
she was poisoned. Yeah.
The fact you had a backstory. I'm sorry.
Basically, it's been really interesting too. Just this has kind of made it my own version, because I feel like she's more of a ghost now than she was before, and that's why I kind of do what I do to make it look very supernatural in a way. But yeah, basically, I kind of said that she was poisoned on her wedding day, and instead of a wedding, she was now having a funeral. Oh, so that was. Oh, whoa.
The whole look.
Play that one out in your brain.
Yeah, the whole look, it's creepy as hell. And the fact that you had a backstory. Do you wear boots? I could have sworn it seems like you wear boots when you're out there running around. I could have sworn they were like Doc Martens. Maybe I just saw these little feet running through the fog, and I was just like, you're 5 foot nothing. No offense.
These tiny baby feet just running through.
No offense. I mean, I'm 6'4".
Anybody who does wear con. Yeah.
And I just see
always suggest wearing basketball shoes. That's what I wear. That's how I move around so quickly.
I wear like
basketball shoes is where it's
basketball shoes. I think I wear Nikes the times I've done them, but you're 5'3".
Basketball shoes are awesome because they give you really great ankle support, and I put toe caps on them, so that might be why you think they're big.
That's why they look like boots. You move, you disappear in the fog, and I think that's creepy as hell. It's just like again, I love the character, I love the makeup. I would never approach you, so that's pretty creepy. So I'm thinking we take a quick little break, and we'll come back and talk about a little more about your art, and then your experiences being a scenic artist a little bit more. And I got a couple of random Halloween questions for you, so we'll be right back.
Don't you dare try to escape. The Creepcast with Rick Creeper shall return.
Hello, everybody. This is Rick Creeper 11 from the Creepcast podcast. Well, of course it is. You wouldn't be hearing me talk if you weren't listening to the podcast. The reason why you're hearing my voice right now, let's talk about zombie donuts. Yes, zombie donuts in the beautiful city of downtown Fullerton, California. Zombie Donuts has been owned and operated by the Gonzalez family since 2014. If I do my math right, that's about 6 years. Yeah, that's right. Math was never my strong point. I go there at least once or twice a month because my barber's in the area. And what I like to do is stop there, get myself a coffee. They have various coffees. They got hot, cold brews. They got blends. They got fufu lattes, which I like. They got regular donuts, signature donuts. A lot of their signature donuts are horror themed. My personal favorite is the Bleeding Heart. Check it out. Even the parking lot is zombie themed with their signage. They got a beautiful decor inside. You can sit inside, enjoy your donut, check out all the spooky horror theme, but it is family friendly. And they got an outdoor patio if you bring your dogs with you. You can sit out there right now. It's Halloween time. You can sit out there around spooky decor and hay bales, and I believe they got some scarecrows too. Amazing coffee, amazing donut. Did I even say the merch? They got merch. They got t-shirts. They got tumblers. They got stickers. Hold on a second. Let me take a sip out of my signature Zombie Donuts coffee bottle. Hold on a second. Oh yeah. You know, I'm a coffee drinker. I love my coffee. So do yourself a favor. Go check them out. Downtown Fullerton. Zombie Donuts. Tell them Rick Creeper from the Creepcast sent you. Zombie Donuts. Gonzalez family. Support small businesses. Go check it out. Oh my.
Where do you think you're going? There is no escape from the Creepcast with Rick Creeper.
Alrighty, we're back at it. Episode 11. We're here with my very special guest, Poison Glo, aka the Ghost Town Bride from Scary Farm, also a scenic artist for Knott.
Hey.
And you just went on a recent journey becoming a vendor, or you just creating your own art. You're doing it through Instagram, and you just did a recent.
I do my own art, yeah.
You just did a recent event too, didn't you?
I did actually, yeah. We're at the Garden Walk.
How did that go?
Did a little Halloween pop-up event. It went really well too, and I was very happy with how everything turned out.
Oh, I had intentions of going, but it was just too hot that day for me, so.
I don't blame you. It was real hot.
So let's discuss. I think I creeped myself out enough about the bride. So let's talk about your position being a scenic artist, and what have you done as far as what mazes you've worked on for Scary Farm.
Okay. Well, I've been there, like I said, consistently since 2016. I've been back. I'm full-time there, so I work on every season pretty much. Last year in particular, I was pretty much leading up the paint crew on Origins. So that was my baby. Wow. From start to finish, really jumped in there and got that one done. That's probably one of my favorite projects I've worked on. Recently, the other ones I've done, The Depths, I did that one from the very beginning to end as well.
That's probably one of my favorite ones.
I worked on Trick or Treat, when they did the new facade.
So cool.
I worked on that one. Pumpkin Eater, also did that one. I mean, we all kind of jump in, like on the older mazes, we all kind of jump in and help touch those up. So there's little bits and pieces of us all over those, and sometimes there's Easter eggs that you can find. Most of the mazes, actually, if you really look around, you'll see little things and love letters, so to speak, that we leave behind to guest fans and former monsters, and people that may have passed on. So that's kind of something special that we do, and we kind of keep them alive through that.
I can honestly hang out in the hollows. I love Pumpkin Eater. Just that I love the whole concept and the details. I have a thing for jack-o'-lanterns. But you said Origins too. That struck a nerve. But Pumpkin Eater, that's just. If I could just sit down in a chair and like the entire night and just watch the guests go by and just hang out in there, I was like, this is so cool. I love the maze, the details, everything, the concept. If if I were ever to have the privilege of working at Knott's and had an opportunity to work in that area, I was like, sign me up. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I don't care as long as I'm in this area.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love the concept of pumpkin eater. It's just anything that's like based from a certain period. I love that colonial area, or just anything from like the 30s or 40s. It's just any period whatsoever. Or even like, Origins. It's based from the Old West, and it's just like that iconic history of Knott's. I mean, we grew up going to Knott's. I mean, my first experience going to Scary Farm was in 90. I'm about to age myself. 92. I think I was about 15, and I was terrified. And I wanted to go back, and I was like, oh my God, I want to keep going. But you worked on some pretty cool mazes, and just you've done everything from painting and just certain details in the mazes as well.
Yeah, we normally will do, the entire maze as far as the floors, the walls, props as needed. We do have our own prop department that works on the majority of that stuff, but every now and then we will help out. Like, for instance, in Pumpkin Eater, there was a giant bug that was inside of like this pumpkin room. I actually painted that bug. So that's cool. We kind of do stuff like that sometimes. It's pretty fun.
Is it sad? I know you're gonna. I know the answer, but do you get a little emotional at the end of the season, like knowing, like, hey, this is my baby. I worked on this all year, and this is the last day of Haunt, and now we got to put this away, and it's just like it just does it strike a chord sometimes?
Yes and no, but I think the no part, because I see it year round. You know, like I'm immersed in this environment all the time, and there's a lot of stuff that we don't take down that's backstage, so I constantly am surrounded by Haunt. But in the aspect of getting to see it come to life and watching all of these amazing talent come in and like really bring our creation to life, like, yeah, it gets a little sad because you're like, I'm setting this really cool stage up for somebody to come and perform on, and it's going to be so cool. And it is, and it's so neat to watch. Like, that one room that I spent all these hours making look so cool, having it come to life is just this unreal feeling, so it is a little sad when it's all over and done with, and you're like, well, but you feel that energy just still in that room, if that makes any sense.
I totally get it. I'm sorry, that's the coolest job in the world. I'm sorry. That is just so cool. You guys get to do that. We were geeking out, so we went the recent Taste of Knott's, and there's the fence line that we're passing by, and me and my girlfriend right there, I'm like, babe, look, and you can see the giant pumpkins from I believe it was Pumpkin Eater, and then she's like, you're such a nerd sometimes with Haunt. I was like, you know what the package you were getting? You started dating me. I was just like, I saw the light tower, I think, from the depths.
You know what you got into.
I was like, this is who I am, It's just like,
yeah.
But I saw that, I'm like, dude, that is so cool. I was just like, oh my God, it's just, again, we grew up going to Knott's as kids, and just I remember like the soapbox racers, and like what else? Just all the I forget all the old rides, and then just like when Scary Farm would come in, it's just like I just trip out that during the season that you're doing both, that you're doing your responsibility as being an artist, and then you're also performing at night. It's like, how do you manage both? That's just insane. I mean, you have more energy than I do. Gosh.
Well, it's a passion,
Mm-hmm. That's very honorable and commendable, that the fact that you could do both, and just during Haunt, it's just that very respectful. So I want to talk to you about your art and your recent journey you've gone down. So let's get into that. What can you tell me about your outlet with your new artwork and everything? Just the crafts you created. There's so many pieces I love. Like, I want to buy them all, but I can't. So what can you tell me about that?
So pretty much, I've always created a lot of things. I just never have really shared them with anybody. It's always been more of my private collection. I never really wanted to share with anybody. I get very attached to my art pieces when I'm doing them. Everything's heavily inspired by, obviously, Halloween, Haunted Mansion, Scary Farm. Those are pretty much my top 3 things that I'm concentrated on. I feel like I just put so much into my art sometimes that it's really hard for me to let go of it, or I don't want to show it to anybody because I feel like I don't want anybody to judge it. If that makes any sense, or them to be like, what are you thinking about? Because I do have a lot of weird thoughts that go through my head, and I kind of feel like my art is kind of a glimpse into what's going on inside of my head sometimes. I'm a very strong advocate for mental health and stuff like that, and I feel like as of recent, I feel like a lot of people have been going through a lot of things, and I definitely can relate and understand a lot of that. I lost my best friend about 3 years ago, and since then it's really kind of caused me to sit back and really like appreciate a lot of different things that I didn't really appreciate before. And one of the things he used to always push me to do is, you need to share your art. And I'd always be like, no, I can't do that, man. Like, no way. And you'd always tell me, you're really good at this. Like, you need to do this. And I was just like, no, I can't do that. And I think a lot of just hearing his voice in the back of my head has kind of pushed me to move forward and really put it out there and just see what happens. He was always that kind of person where it's just like, it's not going to hurt to try, and here I am trying, and
you're doing
it. Cool
it.
Experience so far.
It's very therapeutic when you have a creative outlet, and you're obviously passionate about it as well. Some of the pieces I'm just like, I want them all. I think one of my favorite pieces, there was a sign, I forget what the sign said. It said like spells, elixirs, and toxins, and it had like spider web on it, but just the lettering you did, I'm like, oh yeah, I want that in my living room. And then you did a I think I don't know if it was a coffin. I'm trying to remember. It was a coffin box. It was a shelf, and you painted it. It had black and purple details into it, and I think it was these little windows on the side. And I was just, it kind of I think it would look like a dollhouse, but it was more.
Yeah.
I was like, I put that.
It was like a big bookshelf thing that I did. It was like a haunted house bookshelf.
I love that. There's something about purple. I dig that color. It's just it's related to me and my girlfriend. That color.
Same. It's probably one of my favorite colors. You'll notice I use it quite a bit.
Those are my two favorite pieces. And we talked about I shouldn't say it on the podcast, but all I'm going to say, eventually I would like to have a custom piece made for her. And she's into very like vintage Halloween and jack-o'-lanterns and ghosties and all that. But I love the artwork, and just the fact that
Thank you.
That you have this creative outlet and you're sharing it with the world. And that takes a lot to like open up and like show the world. Like, it makes you feel vulnerable because it's yours. But at the same time, it's like you're bringing enjoyment to people's lives. Like, so many people, I saw the post. So many people were just infatuated with the fact that you created something, and then they have a piece of it now, and it's like, you're putting a smile on their face. So I get it. It might be hard to share with people.
Like I was telling my friend today, it's like very therapeutic, I feel, for me now.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes you could kind of see what kind of mood I'm in depending on what I'm working on. Like, there's days where I feel really sad, and you can tell even just by the colors that I'm using that, this is the mood I was in. But it's kind of neat to kind of capture that and for me to look back on it. But I was trying to share this with my friend just the other day about, with me sharing my art now, that I feel like I'm always so judgmental of myself, and no matter what it is, I'm always looking at the flaws in it and the things that I don't like about it. But it's been so satisfying for me to be able to create something and then hand it off to somebody, and watching the way that they react to it, seeing them light up, seeing the happiness it brings. It kind of brings it all full circle to me and makes me forget about all of those things that were flawed or things that I think are wrong with it. And then I also think about how when I buy something from another artist or something like that, how happy and the joy that it brings me. So knowing that I'm able to give that to somebody else is like making me look at it in a different aspect, and it feels really good.
It's very gratifying that you're creating something from raw emotion, and then what you feel from it, that person's pick up on the energy as well. And the fact that you're making them smile, you brought something into their life, that's cool. To me, that has more value than buying something from a big box store. The fact that it's your personal touch, it's your heart. You're putting it out there. You're wearing your heart in your sleeve, and then like you probably saw it at
literally, yes. Yeah.
I mean, I could only imagine just the reactions of people that were buying your pieces this weekend at the garden walk. The fact that you could see the enjoyment on their face, that to me is more satisfying than anything. And that's why I think it's cool what you're doing. I totally dig it. Excuse me. And I am going to have you make a piece for me eventually. We'll figure something out.
You got it. Just let me know.
So where do you find inspiration as far, you mentioned like the Haunted Mansion and Knotts. What other inspiration do you have, you find that helps you create your art?
A lot of it, like I said, is a lot of it's just emotion. I hold a lot of it in. I'm one of those people who you'll probably never really be able to read exactly what's going on with me. And I know that that's not always a good thing, but it's something I'm working on. But that's definitely my outlet. And so a lot of the times when I am feeling a certain type of way or whatever, I just kind of express myself through my art. So, if I'm just not having a good day, sometimes just sitting down with, my canvas in front of me and just kind of letting it all out, it just makes me feel so much better. So if I'm not taking inspiration from all the things that I love to look at visually, it's definitely just my feeling inside that I kind of regurgitate and throw it up all over this canvas, and that's what you get.
So that's great because you're creating art, and also it's very therapeutic for you. So it's very emotional, and you're putting it to art, which is just, to me, it just has more, like I said, more value than buying something from like a big box store. And so some more support small businesses. I love that.
Yes.
So what can you tell me about Halloween?
Halloween. Well, it's definitely a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I first heard that there was this thing that was going to happen and it was going to take over for the month and we're not having Scary Farm, I was just like, oh man, this sucks. Like, but really looking at the whole, everything that we put together for this event, it's amazing. I'm actually going to be taking my son just because I'm like, he needs to see this. This is so cool. It's really neat to see us doing something in this time that nobody's really offering much for Halloween. And we're all kind of feeling we need that fix, which I know is why we sold out.
Crazy.
But, I know, crazy, right? I think it's really neat. I think it's great that we're doing something more geared towards like family. I don't get me wrong, obviously my heart is in Scary Farm, but I think this would be a really cool event to carry on throughout the years, going forward if we're able to, just because it's so neat. Like I know we already do Spooky Farm like on the weekends for kids and stuff, but just seeing the entire park just decked out it's beautiful. It's so cool. And looking at it more from the aspect of just, traditional Halloween fall time, like it's just neat.
I'm trying not to watch too many YouTube videos or like, I don't want to go down. I want to be surprised. And when I learned you could go trick or
don't watch everybody posts everything nowadays, which isn't bad, but at the same time, like I like to be surprised when I get there. Like I want to be looking at this for the first time in person with my own eyes, so it doesn't do, the videos don't do it justice. Like when you get there, just being immersed in that, you're going to be like, yes, this is awesome.
I purposely haven't shared a lot with the girlfriend. She's only been to Scary Farm once with me, and then a year before when I think the last time Elvira performed there. So last year, like she really was able to experience the full, the full gambit. So I haven't purposely shared a lot of things with Halloween. I'm like, oh my god, look at that! I geeked out that the kids are going trick or treating. I'm like, can I go trick or treating too? Like I want to show up with my pail. Like I want candy. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I got this cool button-down shirt, like pumpkins on. we're getting dressed up. I mean, we're not gonna wear costumes, but I got like I got my date night Halloween shirt. I'm gonna wear that thing. But I'm like, I got my pail right here, my candy pail. I'm gonna take it with me. Hopefully, they'll let me in the park with it.
Heck yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. We're going, I believe, on the 18th. But not just the food alone, but just like the ambiance and like I saw some footage at night, the lighting. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. I can't wait to do. You guys did an amazing job.
Thank you.
It just, again,
we definitely know how to throw an event together real quick. Let me tell you.
It doesn't look, honestly,
we're great under pressure.
It doesn't look like it was thrown together last minute. Like the details that I've seen, I'm like, this looks like they planned this out like way in advance. Like it was very calculated and like orientated. I'll just like, again, I have this thing with pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and just like Peanuts kind of strikes a chord with me, and I'm like, oh my god, they incorporated Camp Snoopy. Like I'm a big kid. I'm like, I can't wait to see it. It's just like I'm geeking out on that. So I can't wait to to check it out. So
I hope you enjoy it for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna eat everything I can. I'm probably gonna gain 10 pounds, and then all the candy and just lights and everything, and just seeing like, oh, it's gonna be so cool. So
it's Halloween, you gotta enjoy it.
Exactly. I'm gonna splurge. So what's your favorite Halloween candy?
My favorite Halloween candy. That's a good one. Like specifically just Halloween candy or just candy in general?
Okay, so normally, what would you be your to go to during Halloween season?
Huh. That's a rough one. Honestly, this is gonna sound stupid because it's not anything too special, but I love Reese's pumpkins. The little pumpkin
pumpkin
cups,
ones.
those are the best.
I must have eaten like 5 of the
They
white.
taste better than regular Reese's, I tell you.
I got the white
I love
pumpkin
them.
ones, and I eat like five at a time. Just yeah, those are good. My thing is, and I don't know why people don't like candy corn. I like candy corn and the little pumpkins as well.
Pumpkins, that was my next one I was going to say. I love those little pumpkins.
Right.
I like candy corn, but I love the pumpkins. They're so good.
It just, they make a fall, I think like a fall mix, and it's got like different color candy corn, but they got the little pumpkins in there. I can only eat 2 because they're really sweet, but I only eat those.
They are.
I'm such a dork. Like I'll eat the Halloween like candy and drink like pumpkin beer, and then I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts and getting like the pumpkin spice latte. I'm such a nerd. It's just
that's me. I got a box of Boo Berry yesterday, so I get it.
I've been meaning to go to.
Yep.
So yeah, candy corn for me. So normally what I do right before we end the episode, I have a fantasy question for each guest, which I didn't do last episode. So it could be any era, any year. It just, if a time portal opened up in your house at home, and you could go back to any era of Scary Farm, or go back to any area during Disney to work the Haunted Mansion, what year and why?
Wow.
Like, would it be the golden age of Scary Farm, like in the 80s, or would it be like the mansion, like when they first opened, like in the 60s and 70s?
That's a really rough question for me because I am such a nerd, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the mansion, definitely would be like around the time when it first opened in 1969.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have been there opening day,
Mm-hmm.
August 9th, 1969, just to see how much it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that there used to be live actors inside. Like, that's really cool.
I didn't know they had live actors. Really? Now, would you be an attendee, or would you want to be working inside the mansion?
That's a rough one because I'd want to be both.
It's a fantasy, so you could do, why not both?
You know what? I'm going to do both.
Okay.
I'm going to do both. Yeah. And then for Scary Farm, honestly, I think I would go back to maybe like the mid 90s. I really loved it around that time.
The 90s. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember in the mazes in the 90s, they always tickled us in the neck. Like, it felt like they had feathers, or they did something. Also, they used to have like the, I want to say they were like Chinese yo-yos. And it's what it is. It looks like,
Some people did. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the guys on the streets had them. They go like that to your face, and they're like 2 inches away. It just, I mean, that was the 90s where things were totally, everyone had shaker cans.
Yeah, I think of the 90s. I think of those. I think of shaker cans. I think of people with like LED lights in their masks. I think of like just this whole different time, that we've lost. Everything's changed so much. I also think about it in the aspect of that was haunt before social media. And don't get me wrong, social media is really cool and I really love all of that. But being that when I first started working the event, there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was none of that. Mm-hmm. You literally would work the event. You'd keep in contact with maybe a couple people that you became really tight homies with or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't see anybody again until next year. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't know anybody's business. You wouldn't know about their life. Nobody was competing about who has the most pictures, who's more popular, who's this, who's that. And I feel like it genuinely just kind of had a different feel because of that. Nowadays, things have changed so much because of social media, because it has become more of a, for lack of better words, a pissing contest. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
It sometimes it bums me out a little bit because I kind of want to take a handful of these kids that are like, new and still have these fresh eyes, and I want to show them how different it was back then, because it really was, and it was so cool. And like I said, that's kind of what has kept me going, being that I was from that time when things were so different, and being able to just continue on. And like, it's so sad that nowadays I see so many people that get caught up in all of this, crap, and they don't end up lasting very long just because of it. And it's sad. It's sad to me because it's something that we're also passionate about, and some of these people could move, towards something better. But unfortunately, because of that, it just kind of screws everything up. But I think that's my biggest reason also for wanting to go back to that time, because it was simpler times.
So there you go. I mean, for me, my most vivid memories of Scary Farm is just, you get to that intersection of La Palma and Beach, and you see the fog rolling through the intersection.
Yes.
And you hear the screams, and I'm like 15, and some of my buddies made fun of me. You're 15. I'm like, dude, come on, give me a break. And I was terrified. I was completely terrified going through the turnstile and just going through Ghost Town. And I'm like, I don't want to go through there. And you just hear like, oh my God. And I'm like, this is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Everyone had shaker cans.
Yep, I remember that feeling, like walking up to the gate and your adrenaline's just like pumping. I remember just being so stoked to get through there and just like so nervous. And then you walk in and you're like, we're here. Like, this is it. Like, it was so cool.
And again, it was so, I forget the word you used, but it's like there was no media coverage. There was no news coverage. You had no idea what you were walking into. Now it's like you kind of, it's cool. Like, yeah, there's a breakdown of the mazes. Like, hey, this is the theme for this year. I don't get me wrong, I love it, but like, back then, it's like you had no idea what you're walking into. I mean, you literally got the map. You look at the map, you're like, oh, okay, let's go here, let's go there, and it's like that was terrifying to me. It just like I said, just the old school Knotts. To me, that always takes me back. My biggest regret, I was 19, and I auditioned. It wasn't even an audition. I think you went and applied. At the time, I didn't live in the area, and they're like, hey, are you gonna be on call? I'm like, okay. And it went from like a couple on calls to like they wanted me all the time, but I'm like, I don't live in the area, I don't have a car. But I wish I just could have like experienced that like in my 19s, and when I was 19 or 20, just like that golden area. Who knows I would have been that. But I look at it this way. It's like, it wasn't meant to be. This is why I discovered this at 40. How old am I now? I discovered it at 42 2 years ago. And it's like, if people trip out, they're like, how long have you been doing this? I'm like, my second year. They're like, whoa. I'm just like, yeah, I just doing my job. Like, I just want to have fun. I'm doing my job. It's like, hey, I'm doing my job, and my job makes your life easier here, and we're having fun. It's like, and if I'm making people smile and having a good time, and cool. It's like, and that's what I'm there for. It's like, anyways, well, I think that's it. Thank you for carving time out of your life to coming on to my janky ass podcast and sharing your life experiences. Of course. Sharing your life experiences. I love your art. Yeah. I just the fact that you're so passionate about it. I mean, you're passionate about all three of them, being a performer, being a scenic artist, and then just being just an artist as well. To me, that just has more value than anything. Just having passion and love for what you do. And personally, thank you for giving me advice for the last year and a half that we chatted indirectly, and just being a decent person to me. And I really know who I was, and I've always appreciated and respect everything you told me. And so, thank you again. And I'll try not to be so scared next time I see the bride. Maybe eventually we'll run into each other in real life outside of makeup. So thank you so much for everything. So I think that's
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. I could ramble on and like ask you like stories about Knotts, and I don't want to do that. So thank you again.
We could do that on another day if you want.
Perfect. So thanks again. This is episode 11 of the Creepcast with Poison Glo, aka the Ghost Town Bride. And I just want to thank for everyone supporting the podcast. More importantly, I want to thank Glo for coming on. You're an amazing guest. I love your art. And that's pretty much it. So thank you guys. Happy Halloween. Take care, everybody.
You've once again barely escaped the clutches of the Creepcast with Rick Creeper. Next time, you may not be so lucky. To find out more about the Creepcast and Rick Creeper, follow Rick on Instagram at RickCreeper11. Until next time, be sure to keep that lantern light burning. You never know what could be lurking out there in the dark.